According to the Centers for Disease Control and Awareness, sports concussions in the United States have reached epidemic levels. There are between 1.6 and 3.8 million sport-related concussions in the U.S. each year. Football has been a main focus of this concussion epidemic. Tonight, we'll hear from a player, a coach, and medical expert on the problem at hand and what's being done to make the sport safer. Since its inception, football has been about the big hits. Some even seem to glorify what's been called ringing someone's bell.
He's gonna feel that in the morning!
But sometimes that bell can get cracked. The NFL has been a leader in addressing concussions and other head injuries. But here in Siouxland, concussions are also being addressed. CNOS serves as athletic trainers for over 40 schools in the area. So are they seeing more concussions, or are we just more aware?
I think that's a really good question, and I would definitely say the awareness is heightened.
CNOS uses a computer program called Impact. This program helps assess whether or not an athlete has developed a concussion, and if and when they can be cleared for play.
It looks at things like attention span, working memory, the ability to recall in a short period of time, all those type of aspects that we've always done with some question and answer, but now we have a computer program that can give us some really pinpointed quantitative information.
Lawton Bronson has also taken great steps in limiting concussions. The school uses the same impact testing and has its own trainer to deal with concussions. 9 years ago, the school began switching over to the so-called concussion helmets. Now their coach understands the times have changed and realizes the need to update equipment and continue testing.
Back when I played, the answer for our coach was just tape it up and play. And when my dad played, they played on pretty much everything and no one knew because they were just unaware.
However, he's quick to point out the cost of these measures.
We are fortunate enough at Lawton Bronson that we can afford to get very nice helmets. There are some districts that cannot afford that. The state can mandate all the laws they want, but until those districts have the money and the state's willing to give them the money to follow those laws, the things just aren't going to change at some of these small rural school districts where they're hurting financially.
Both Iowa and South Dakota have laws in place dealing with concussions. Nebraska also passed similar legislation this summer. All are designed to educate parents, coaches, and athletes of the dangers concussions present and how to identify the signs and symptoms. The Sioux City Bandits signal caller Scott Jensen knows all about concussion symptoms. He's had 2 in his career and vividly describes one of them.
Just a sense of no vision and getting up with a huge headache, and I was throwing up after the game and went to the hospital on Monday and basically slept Monday through Friday in class because they were tired of seeing me in the nurse's office sleeping on the beds.
This past season, Jensen wore a special helmet made by the company Zenith. Now, this helmet is made with a flexible shock bonnet that the company claims can potentially reduce the risk of concussions.
I noticed that when you put it on, that usually when I have a different helmet, it kind of wobbles and everything like that. But when you put this one on, it fits to, your head directly, as you don't need no air to see, as there's no air to pump up, or it's all right in these little air sockets.
Computer testing, improvement to equipment, and legislation, all trying to reduce these dangerous head injuries.
But a concussion can happen in any sport, and a concussion can happen at home if you fall down or so I don't want football to get a bad rep because they are better protected in football than they are all other sports.